Well, good evening, folks, or good morning, depending on. I guess it's up to you to download the show and listen to it at your own leisure, at either the morning time, nighttime, good what have you. It's another beautiful night here, or morning,
or afternoon,
and it could be shitty out. I don't know.
Alright, everybody. As always, just with every one of my episodes, this is an entertainment comedy podcast and in no means is intended as an educational one. So with that being said, if you're easily offended at comedy shows, movies, TV, or really any other form of medium of entertainment, please don't listen to this. If you're incapable of occasionally hearing something that contradicts your views without just instinctually getting offended, please don't listen. I'm heavily of the idea that everything and anything can and should be laughed at, as it takes away the power from those ideas being able to harm you or affect you in any way negatively. With that being said, welcome to MERC podcast number 5, Reedus and the Funky Feetus. Now, I will say that the views from the clip shows do not in any way reflect my character, opinions, or just, character. But with that being said, let's move on to the first bit of just guessing the news and the news segment, just news overall. Now, apparently the Juggalos have cracked the code. By this I mean that our good friends over at the ICP, possibly inadvertently, but who knows at this point, have resulted in, facial recognition. Might be a problem in the future. Who knows? I mean, depending on what kind of government you're with, what kind of conspiracy theories you want to believe in, might be a problem. However, the one thing that has been shown to counteract facial recognition technology is Juggalo face paint. So, our Juggalo saviors, the cult-like fandom, and their gang classification by FBI, Magnix, Fago, Wrestling, The Gathering, all love because apparently the clown is down with G.O.D. And that's all I'll leave it with. If you want more about that, just Google Juggalos and facial recognition, and it'll lead you down a hole of mostly their music, which will make you raise some eyebrows, and maybe you're into that, maybe not, but whatever. Let's move forward to something that really caught my attention for the past couple weeks. This time of the year, San Diego Comic-Con... we're leaving that in there, folks. San Diego Comic-Con happened, and here's a couple of the highlights. Mahershala Ali will be Blade. Natalie Portman is now Thor in the upcoming Thor Love and Thunder. The Doctor Strange sequel will be mostly horror-based and will likely give us more characters as it's titled Multiverse of Madness. Marvel is still not sure about Falcon being the next Captain America, since they're announcing the next Cap movie in the series as The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So take that as what you will. I was personally a fan of that comic run, but let's wait and see what happens there. We finally get more, hopefully, into the real Mandarin as Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, a reference that was technically first made in the first Iron Man movie. If, for those eagle eye or eagle ear listeners of the series, WandaVision. Now, if this is done correctly, it could retcon the whole MCU, especially considering one of the other titles that they've mentioned, which is going to be announced in a bit. They made an announcement of Loki with that terrible logo, and I hope they can fix that. I'm not a fan of that. And what is for sure likely going to be one of my favorites, because I'm a fan of just things that take a chance and just go with it. We're going to have a What If movie, and that is by far the most surprising thing that I've heard, because that's a cool series. For anybody that's not aware about it, go check that out. My boy Hawkeye is finally getting some respect, and the logo closely resembles the one that they've used in the Matt Fraction series comic run. So let's hope that that's the source material for this, because that was an amazing, I believe it was 4 or 5 volumes that came out under Matt Fraction for Hawkeye. And that was my introduction to Kate Bishop, so let's hope that they can go with that. Black Widow will get her movie as well. Now, the one thing that gets me excited about her movie is that the villain is going to be Taskmaster. That didn't sound like I pronounced that right. Taskmaster. There we go. And huge fan of that guy. Always like to pick him in fighting games. But, I mean, that guy is just awesome as far as just being a villain. Wow, I am all over the place. It'll get better. But as far as being a villain, that guy is amazing. Considering the fact that he can just remember the moves of his opponents and just mimic them perfectly. But the history of that character is just even more just odd, considering the fact that a little bit of comic book lore here, he, for all of his abilities of being able to memorize his opponent's moves, he ends up losing some of his long-term memory. And that can be pretty frightening because you'll be able to memorize all of your opponent's moves. However, in the meantime, you're forgetting about your family. You're forgetting about where you live. You're forgetting about all of those special things in your life, which could possibly make you into an asshole, which might actually explain as to why that is for him being a villain. But nonetheless, Taskmaster... Wow. That is a tongue twister for me. Taskmaster is awesome. And that is just that. And here's the speed round of what else was mentioned. Black Panther 2, Guardians 3, Fantastic Four, Captain Marvel 2, Mutants. There we go with that whole WandaVision thing. So that might be a tie-in. But get this. These supposed 10 projects will span from... Now, many people might think by a large amount of years. But no. This is going to start at spring of 2020 to fall of 2021. So 10 projects within the course of a little bit more than a year. That is just stacked. So that means that there's not going to be more than 3 months without a Marvel project that you're going to be able to consume for the MCU. Thus showing that the MCU is still standing strong. But let's just hope that the product doesn't suck and that they at least stick with the source material. Because once you get away from that, it tends to get a little bit murky as far as just whether or not it can be good. Now, as far as just things that I've been consuming, as far as just music, movies, and all of that type of stuff, the Chernobyl series on HBO is definitely one that caught my attention. It's worth the watch, maybe, in my opinion, because I'm a bit of a Chernobyl freak, and I am really, really into anything that goes with it, minus that crappy horror movie that they made. Now, as far as just the wrestle recap, with wrestling news, we'll of course try to just keep it with straight facts and results, the occasional picks, so my apologies if this does appear to be brief, but I'm just wanting to make sure that we get these results out to you without stretching these episodes too long. So, with that being said, here we go. Now, in covering Monday Night Raw for July 15 of 2019, god damn, I'm far behind, the new Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar, kicks off Raw. A promo by Paul Heyman announcing the, quote, cross-branded 10 All-Star Battle Royal to determine Lesnar's opponent for SummerSlam. Ricochet and the Usos team up against Robert Roode, and the Revival. Ricochet ends up picking the win, but then is shortly attacked by AJ and the Good Brothers, as we are now just referring to them as the Club again. And the Viking Raiders are in action versus some unknown local talent, which resulted in the obvious, the Viking Raiders picking up the victory. Cedric Alexander versus Drew McIntyre. In this case, Cedric managed to pick up the victory on this one by a quick roll-up pin. That was super unexpected, but let's just wait and see what results from this. As far as just an impending feud between Cedric Alexander and Drew McIntyre, or if this is just going to be scrapped, who knows. Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe came up next, in which Joe ended up getting the pin as a result of a crucifix pin. Shortly thereafter the match, we see the return of Bray as the Fiend attacking Finn. I'm surprised I didn't get tongue-tied there. We can already see where this is going. Fiend versus Finn, a.k.a. the Fiend versus the Demon. let's just hope that they don't pop their cherry for that one too fast on this one, as they can tend to stretch this one out for quite a while, so long as they make sure that they don't get in the ring very often. I can honestly see a huge payout resulting in this up until Mania if they work this right. However, I feel like before the end of the year, this thing's going to be over. Hell, I feel before Survivor Series, this might be over. So, let's just hope for that slow, sweet burn in this one. Now, resulting nets was Zack Ryder versus Mike Canales. Mike ended up getting his repeated usual match outcomes, as Ryder got the quick pinfall victory after hitting the Rough Rider. This then leads to Mike getting emasculated by Maria once again, moving forward as she continues to berate Mike. The Lucha House Party versus the Club was following after this event, consisting of AJ, Gallows, and Anderson, that is. Ricochet then shows up in the middle of this match to interrupt them for the obligatory needed commercial break. Upon the return, Styles was able to capture and secure a submission victory on Kalisto by use of the calf crusher, calf slicer, calf killer, whatever we're calling it now. The four-way number one contender match was then followed, and this was for the women's title, which consisted of Naomi versus Natalya versus Carmella versus Alexa Bliss. And I'm sorry, I was referring to Bayley's women's title. Now, this was done in a elimination style in order to make sure to squeeze in those precious commercial breaks, as Natalya was able to survive and come out victorious by lastly eliminating Bliss in this contest. We then move forward to Miz TV with his special guest Dolph Ziggler. This, of course, ended up, as most of these segments do, in a fight where Miz ended up attacking Ziggler, sparking this rivalry. R-Truth regains the 24/7 championship by attacking Drake in his hotel room. I've said it many times, but Truth and Drake are killing it and making this title relevant and worthwhile. Now, the Battle Royal, the main event to determine the number one contender for Brock Lesnar's SummerSlam match, Seth Rollins wins. SmackDown July 16, 2019, started the show. Shane gives Owens a night off to keep him off the show. All the roster gather for, I will say air quotes, a town hall meeting where they voice their concerns. Notable mentions in this segment, we have Liv Morgan and Buddy Murphy making an appearance, voicing their concerns. Apollo Crews and Andrade set up for their match, and Cesaro walked out and challenged Aleister Black for that rematch. This segment ended with Kevin Owens giving Shane 1.5 stunners. If you saw it, you know exactly what I mean. If you didn't, they likely edited it so you won't understand what I mean by that. If anything, it'll probably be on Botchamania for this week, so keep your eyes peeled out for that. Now, on to the first match of the night, Aleister versus Cesaro. In my opinion, match of the night. Even though I'm not a fan of just quick succession for rematches, as mentioned though, this just happened 2 days ago in Extreme Rules. But the outcome was a repeat, as Aleister once again picked up the victory by pinfall, hitting that black mass. Moving up next, second match of the night, Charlotte Flair versus Liv Morgan. This was set up as a result of that town hall meeting segment earlier tonight. Charlotte ended up picking up the victory via submission after locking in the figure 8. And then following in quick succession, the third match of the night, Ember Moon and Bayley versus Fire and Desire, Sonya and Mandy. Moon ended up picking... Wow, that is terrible. Moon ended up picking up the victory in this one as a result of hitting the Eclipse on Mandy Rose. The result of this match was, however, Bayley announcing that Ember Moon is going to be the future challenger for her title. Now, following this was a segment with Ali, congratulating Nakamura on his recent IC title victory. Then another segment with the New Day, accepting the challenge presented by Daniel Bryan for a rematch. Joe came out requesting a rematch with Kofi, however, and Elias came out saying that he wanted his shot now, which then resulted in Orton coming out making an argument for him being the new number one contender for Kofi's championship title. Elias then stated that they should have a 6-man tag match against the New Day, Randy Orton, Elias, and Joe versus the New Day. We now move on to the fourth match of the night, being the one that was just mentioned. Orton ended up picking up the victory on this one via pinfall after delivering an RKO to Kofi. Now we then move to a backstage segment to see R-Truth hiding in a washing machine. The Kabuki Warriors then followed, taking on the Iconics for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. This was the 5th match of the night. The duo of Asuka and Kairi Sane picked up the win via countout. So, as a result of this, the title still remains with the Iconics. And then on to our 6th match of the night, and in my opinion, runner-up for match of the night. And in my opinion, it probably could make a good argument for match of the night, considering that this was at least original and not a rematch. We have Apollo versus Andre. I'm sorry. Apollo versus Andrade. That was a slip there. And Apollo ended up snagging the victory on this one by another crucifix pin. We move on to our main event, Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens. This match had no clear victor as it ended in a no contest. The highlights of the match, however, was that Owens gave Dolph and Shane a stunner and quickly managed to successfully flee from a beatdown from Shane and company. The smart thing to do, as opposed to just standing your ground and getting beat up, trying to be the tough guy. Now, on to 205 Live for, again, the July 16th episode. Starting off the show with a recap of the championship match from Extreme Rules, in which Gulak successfully defended against Tony Nese, and moving forward, we have Akira Tozawa versus Samir Singh. Akira managed to secure the victory via pinfall after hitting a sunset flip. Following this match, the Singh brothers were jumping Akira until Brian Kendrick ran in for the assist on Akira. Mike Canales then showed up, picking up a victory. Good for him against local talent. Jackson, I believe, was the only name that they refer to him by. Now, after hitting that pinfall victory, one thing that I do want to make a mention of, I feel like I'm a victim of this. I'm definitely guilty of this. There are certain people that I always forget what their finishes are. And no disrespect or anything, but I just wish I could see them hit it more often. Like, for a while, I didn't know what Heath Slater's finish was. So, completely off topic here. But we finally get to see Mike Canales hit that rolling cutter, as they refer to it. Now, following the match, Mike called out Drake Maverick. After demeaning Drake, taking a few jabs at him, Drake snapped and put a beat down on Mike. And then we move on to a rematch. And many people were saying that the original had its problems because it wasn't supposed to end this way. I'm referring to Chad Gable versus Jack Gallagher 2. Main event of the night. And people just, wow. I'm not reading off a script here, but just wow. This is by far one of the best matches that I've seen in 205 Live history, and possibly WWE history this year so far. And just an amazing contest between these two. And I'm hoping that puts a spotlight on that brand, because as somebody that always favors the 205 Live brand, the cruiserweights or the juniors, they don't get their respect. They don't get the appreciation that they need, because those guys probably are able to work just as hard, if not harder, than the heavyweights or anybody else on any roster. And goddamn, that match was amazing. Go watch that one. If you had to watch anything from this week, go watch that. Gable was able to pick up the victory on this one after hitting the Chaos Theory, which is one of my favorite finishes to see. That rolling German suplex with a bridge. Just beautiful. Now we move to NXT for July 17 of 2019. Prior to the first match, we check on Adam Cole's return and Kushida's next challenge. Matt Riddle ended up taking on Arturo Ruas. Matt picked up the victory on this one after TKO by repeatedly striking his opponent, after which the ref just had to stop that. Now, we don't see that often, and I kind of wish we did. That in time limit draws, because at least it gives you the tension that what would happen if it went just a little bit more longer. But I am getting off track. Following that match, Matt is on the receiving end of a brutal beatdown from Killian Dane. The Street Profits have their segment of Street Talk, clever, as they go through their list of accolades as they take a jab at the Undisputed Era. Now, the following segment shows Mia Yim attacking Marina Shafir in the lot as part of Mia's journey to get a shot at Baszler's title. We then have Bronson Reed versus Dexter Lumis, a matchup for the NXT Breakout Tournament. Bronson ended up securing a victory via pinfall after delivering, quote, a super splash. And Kathy Kelly, well, actually, before I get to that, Bronson will now be moving forward to face on Cameron Grimes. My personal favorite in this thing, well, one of my personal favorites, considering I was a big fan of him in TNA. Kathy Kelly speaks out. No, that's incorrect. Kathy Kelly speaks with Tyler Breeze at a photo shoot. Breeze noting that everyone now has a team. And before he can elaborate on this, he gets interrupted by the Forgotten Sons. We will find out that Io Shirai will face Casey Catanzo next week. Kushida is going to be taking on Apollo Crews. And in this one, Kushida ended up picking up the win after applying the hoverboard lock. However, they steered away now from referring it to that, as it is now just referred to as a Kimura. Kathy Kelly then comes in again to get some words with Keith Lee. We learned that Keith Lee is going to be facing Damian Priest next week. And Adam Cole says he will be taking on Twan Tucker, a student at Johnny's ACW wrestling school. But Tucker was not alone, as Gargano came out to give a beatdown to Cole. And that concludes NXT, but let's move on to NXT UK. We're almost there, folks. We're done with the wrestling news. We just need to cover this and a lot of New Japan for the G1. So NXT UK of the same night, July 17 of 2019, we have the general manager, Johnny Saint, assistant, Sid Scala, run down the card. Imperium, which consisting of Marcel Bartel and Fabian Eichner, defeated Saxon Huxley and Tyson T-Bone. Travis Banks is then interviewed by Rad about his loss to the WWE United Kingdom champion, Walter. Travis Banks says that this was his dream, but it's not the end, and it's time to hit the reset button. Ginny, with Jazzy Galbert, defeated Zaya Brookside via pinfall. Imperium then ended up cutting a promo on British Strong Style. They talk about them just one by one, leaving Trent Seven, Alexander Wolf, accepts for Walter, and says that I have just flubbed over the bullet points on that one. Basically, Trent Seven has said that Tyler Bate is going to be out due to injuries as a result of the beatdown from Imperium. There we go. Those darn bullet points in my crappy memory. Now, Kenny Williams announces that he will face Noam Dar next week. I apologize, guys. This thing's going to get better as we go along, but I have to go and move forward with this. We have a recap of Gallus' win over The Hunt and Dave Mastiff, and we also see stuff after a show where Joe Coffey and Mastiff will face off. Now, Gallus ended up cutting a promo saying that they tamed the animals and that they will make Mastiff humble when he faces him one-on-one. This being, of course, Joe Coffey. The NXT Women's UK Champion, Toni Storm, cuts an in-ring promo about Kaylee Ray. She thought about Kaylee Ray and she thought that she was her best friend, but she's sick of the mind games, and Kaylee Ray then interrupts, and she announced that she will face Storm for the NXT UK Women's title at the TakeOver card in Cardiff. And moving forward, Sid Scala announced that the first ever NXT UK 6 women's tag match will be set next week. Mark Andrews then ended up defeating Cassius Ohno via pinfall. I was not expecting that, but god damn does Cassius Ohno, he's just able to pull a good match with anybody. No disrespect to Mark Andrews, but just super respect for Cassius Ohno. Now, on to the cluster and the oversaturatedness and the incredibleness of the G1. We are going through day 3 through 7 in this episode. Now, for day 3, in July 14th, the A block, Kenta defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi. They are setting that boy up for something. Evo defeated Kota Ibushi via pinfall. Okada defeated Zack Sabre Jr. via pinfall. Ospreay defeated Sonata via pinfall, and Lance Archer defeated Bad Luck Fale via pinfall. On day 4, we have the B block going at it again. July 15th, Taichi defeated Tetsuya Naito. I was not seeing that one coming, but I'm a huge Taichi fan. Ishii defeated Jay White. Moxley is currently undefeated, defeating Jeff Cobb. Juice Robinson got the win over Goto. And Shingo Takagi got the win over Toru Yano. Day 5 on the A block. Kenta, once again undefeated, defeated Lance Archer and picked up the victory via submission this time around. Now that was super weird to see. Somebody the size of Kenta getting a submission victory over Archer. I'm a fan of that kind of stuff, though. Evil got the win over Sonata. I always love whenever there's matches between infighting on stables. That always just kind of leads to that tension that you want more out of it, but at the same time you don't want them to break up. Nonetheless, that was a cool match. Okada got the win over Bad Luck Fale. Tanahashi got the win over Zack Sabre Jr. And Kota Ibushi got the win over Ospreay. Day 6 on the B block. Shingo Takagi got the win over Taichi. Jeff Cobb got the win over Juice. Toru Yano got the win over Jay White. Man, Jay White is not catching a break on this tournament. Naito got the win over Goto. And Moxley, once again undefeated, got the win over Ishii. Day 7, we have Zack Sabre Jr. finally picking up that victory. Well, not finally, but, Zack Sabre Jr. finally picking up that victory over Bad Luck Fale, however, via countout. Tanahashi got the win over Archer. Kenta, still undefeated, got the win over Evil. And Ibushi got the win over Sonata. Okada ended up getting the win over Ospreay. That concludes the wrestling news. That only took us 26 minutes, so that's not too bad over all the fumbling of my just bad, possibly speech impediment. Who knows? Maybe it's just because I don't like talking. Now, slice of life. Currently into my life. First thing about training, drills. I kind of really do enjoy that, mainly because I'm able to push myself and polish up the things that need work, that desperately need work. I'm a bit of a perfectionist to a certain degree, and I feel like everything that I do can never be perfect. It could just get better. However, I took a literal beating today during this week, which my humble pretend-to-be tough self that doesn't like to complain about it out loud on the spot decided to keep my mouth shut and keep on going. However, I think my old ankle injury might be creeping on me again, as previously I was more or less limping for about the course of half a year, maybe 3/4 of the year. Without getting into too much detail, of course, I didn't have health insurance for a certain period of time in college. Surprise, right? U.S. citizen, no health insurance. But instead of putting myself in debt, going to an emergency room by thousands of dollars to try to figure out what's going on, I decided that the best way to take this on was to just put a level 3 and level 4 ankle brace on me to make sure that whatever was wrong there would stay stabilized and heal up while still being a dumbass and working out over the course of my senior year in university. I'm pretty good now, but every now and then it kind of flares up, so it kind of just creeps up on me and gives me a little bit of fear from time to time. That being said, here's the list of that now just makes me laugh talking about this, of what happened in just the course of one class. Firstly, kick to the face, mainly on my right eye, thankfully not busted open. Otherwise, that would have affected the class environment, and I would have likely wanted to still keep on going, but they probably would have just forced me to sit out for the rest of the class or go home. So, thankfully, not busted open, kick to the right side of my face. Then, headbutt to the dick. Then, heel of a foot to the dick, and then foot to the inner thigh and dick. So there was obviously a recurring theme there. Again, no ill will or criticism on my classmates or peers, because this is wrestling. This is wrestling training, and this is a two-person thing. So if anything, I'm absolutely positive that it was more my fault than anything. So no disrespect to those guys. Those are great. Those people are great. I just suck at the time. Now, let's just hope that moving forward, my my dick region just doesn't get blasted more with more shots. For the next class, it just really wasn't my week. I took some more falls and almost broke my left shin in an awkward fall jumping into the ring. My legs and arms resulted in being peppered with multiple bruises, but the reality is that this isn't me complaining. I kind of enjoy this feeling. As emo as it sounds, it definitely is keeping me busy from recording the podcast mainly, but I do tend to be happier when I'm at my busiest and when I'm physically in a bit of pain or soreness. So as masochistic as it sounds, it's all good. Now, I'm coming down from my high of my previous weeks, which was so exhilarating, and I want more and may be able to get that just heard here, as we're setting up for one of our upcoming events on August 2nd. Now, obviously, I do not have the blessing of my coach or trainers to mention any of that here, but with that being said, those who know, I hope I see you at August 2nd, and I hope you could see some of me there. We're moving on to bits of the podcast now. Thanks for sticking around, guys, and as mentioned before in my disclaimer, none of the things that will be posted here reflect on my character, nor are they views that I share. They're just bits from podcasts that I picked that I hope that you guys might be able to laugh at. Catch you guys later for the next one.
Dinner plays a stand-up.
Oh, I know the movie.
Right?
I know the movie, yes.
And
yes.
he hijacks the Johnny Carson, which is Richard Lewis in it.
Yeah.
Just so he can get a spot on his show.
That's so smart.
So he said he was going to kill him if you don't put me on. So they aired and he kills on his show.
Yeah.
And then later he becomes a big star.
That's a good lesson. That's a good lesson for kids out there.
This
If
is
you
the
really
complete
want
opposite
something.
of that, because you want to steal it because it's a career-ending.
Right. This could end your career.
Yeah, but at the end though, they do air it in this movie, and it becomes a hit.
Right. We
So
want it
all
to
of it. So all of it is maybe a moot. We'll talk about.
How about
it.
this? How about this? Really funny. How about you go there and you don't get it in time and they end up airing it and it bombs even harder than you remember.
Yeah. Right.
Like you thought, okay, but this joke was at least okay.
Where would you see it? Like I'm racing on by maybe
Times Square,
an electronics store where they have 15 TVs, right?
Yeah.
And there's people hovering around, right?
Yeah.
Watching you bomb.
In Times Square on that big screen, and they just start booing. The whole Times Square boos the screen.
Yeah.
And they turn around.
One guy spits against the window. Fuck this guy. Right?
And they turn around and they see you, and then they chase you to kill you.
You
should have killed yourself. Now they're gonna kill you.
Yeah.
That guy sucks. And the mob just comes and kill him.
Yeah.
Bad for comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Yeah, it was bad.
And let me clarify.
Yeah, it was bad.
Both Bobby and I extremely respect David Spade. I'm very appreciative. We had a good time being with friends. We were sad we didn't perform well. That's what this is all about.
That's what it is.
It's nobody's fault but ours. We didn't perform well.
Listen, they asked us to do it.
Shit.
Dave asked us to do it because I have good chemistry with Dave. He knows that usually I'm funny, and he did the thing with Andrew because we're trying to help him,
New York.
Yeah.
Okay. That wasn't in the New York one though.
You weren't in the Boston
Marathon.
I was gonna go sign up.
No, you weren't.
No, you
Come
weren't.
on.
All right, forget it then.
No reference.
You didn't let me see my joke.
Go ahead and say it.
No, I can't say it now because now I don't even know how it goes now. That's a problem.
You're gonna
And it's not good. It's not good. But what I was gonna say, right?
Is it mean?
No, it's just like what I mean. Somebody else brought their backpacks.
Oh.
It's just something like that. But what I mean, it didn't work out.
Oh no.
But I get it. It's funny. It's mean, but it's bad. It's bad mean.
It's bad.
It's like when
It's
I say
tragedy.
every time I come back from New York.
Yeah.
Every time I say to somebody in LA, I say, "When was the last time you've been to New York?" I said, "Not too long ago." And I say, "You remember those two buildings? They're gone. They're like not even there anymore." And I say it dead serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? I go, there's like a big one there now.
Yeah.
Kind of strange, man. That city changes every time I go, you know? They're really building up that.
And what
city.
do they say? What is people's response usually?
They don't know how to react.
Yeah.
They don't know if
wow.
I'm kidding or if I'm dead serious. I say that to like baristas. I say that to the guy at Starbucks.
You know what?
Ever been to New York?
Yeah.
Remember those fucking buildings? Gone. That city's changing, man. Gentrification.
If I'm at a coffee shop or a Starbucks and I
Yeah.
hear like a popular song like Michael Jackson or
Oh,
the
yeah,
Beatles,
he does this a lot.
I always go to the counter. Who is this? And they go, it's "Beat It" by Michael Jackson. And I'll write it down.
In your phone?
Yeah, I'll just because I know now.
That's so.
I go, what's it?
spell it?
Michael? Am I right? B
Jackson?
How do is that?
Do they know you're fucking
No,
around?
I convinced them that I don't know what I'm doing. Can I get that on Spotify? You know what I mean? I love doing that.
Cool to see Canelo on Rogue every time.
But have you?
There is a slew of redheads that get no respect.
But why do redheads go into comedy? There's a lot of you now.
The most famous
Redheads are comedians.
some of the most famous comedians of all
Yeah,
time. are
redheads, I mean, yeah.
Conan O'Brien,
Redhead.
Carrot Top,
Louis C.K.,
Redhead.
Level Up, though.
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr,
level up.
me. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not even in that category, but
You
still,
are.
one day I will be known as. Lucille Ball is unequivocally one of the greatest female
Yes.
comedians in the history of invention of comedy.
Yeah.
She is the beginning.
Yeah.
Who else is a
Oh,
great?
you was a redhead too? Richard Pryor. When he smoked the crack. Richard Pryor. Yeah, I mean, remember that you smoked the crack? You remember that? He turned into,
come on.
He turned into Ghost Rider for a second. When he was just smoked that crack, right?
Louis,
you were my favorite.
Louis and Burr, two of the greatest comics of all time, redheads.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming by.
I did a pilot with Brooke Shields. She didn't say one word to me.
Yeah, but if I was Brooke Shields, I wouldn't say anything to you either. Just afraid of sexual assault from you. She's heard what goes on. She knows. What did you do to Brooke Shields? Robert?
Oh boy.
Robert?
Getting real, huh?
Yeah, it's getting real.
Why would you say something like that?
If I was hot girl Brooke Shields, why would I not talk to you?
Yeah.
I mean, the writing's on the wall.
It hurts me.
I'm not as Andrew Santino. I love talking to you. I'm Brooke Shields right now. No thanks.
So good. And that's why I played it the way I just did.
I know you did a
So I
good
could
job.
get that out of here.
You did a good job.
Did you see what I did?
You did a good job.
That's called fucking mind twists, man.
Who is the best looking person in Hollywood that's been nice to you?
Oh shit, that's a good one.
Like who? Like the best
looking one.
Female or male?
Doesn't matter.
The guy.
I think guys are always more
That
fun.
guy Joe.
Oh, Manganello.
Manganello.
Oh, he's handsome.
Well, he's gorgeous.
Joe Magnanello, I've had sushi a couple times with, and he's a big guy.
Big
right?
guy.
Yeah, and he doesn't. When I hug him,
Yeah.
he doesn't do big guy shit.
Like he doesn't squeeze you, make you feel.
No, like
small?
so they'll pick me up on my neck or you know what I mean or whatever, right?
Yeah.
He holds me like a gentle little flower. In fact, I know this for a fact that he's done projects and stuff, and he's mentioned my name. I hear that from other showrunners and people.
That they say, he says, who you should get is Bobby Lee.
Yeah. He's that kind of guy, and well, whether or not I work with him, that's one thing. But I really like him.
He's
He's
babe.
also very good looking.
Who's the ugliest person that you've been friends with?
Ken Jeong.
No hesitation. That
It has,
was
no,
very
it has
quick.
nothing to do with
You
his
think he's
talent.
the ugliest man you've ever worked
It's not
with?
that he's ugly. It's just that he looks like he has a brittle bone disease. Right?
Oh,
When you- 'cause he-
osteo,
yeah, because-
something
Osteoporosis?
Yeah, because when he
Is that what it is?
stands, I love him so much. By the way, okay, we
Yeah.
might have to cut this out.
osteogenesis imperfecta.
But he's hey guys, what's up? You know what I mean? And then he's like, he always stands like this with his, and his body is like, there's no chest plates or anything.
Do you know
it's
that's
just
because
indented.
he got into a tragic car accident when he was young. You know that, right?
That's not true.
Yes, it is. Look at me. Yes, it is.
So good, so good.
I love Ken.
I love him too.
He's a wonderful little guy.
He's
but
great.
You say he's the most.
No, he's not the ugliest. I was kidding.
Who's the
I'm
ugliest
kidding,
person?
everybody. I'm trying to think.
of
That just
who-
came out of my head. Who I think that's ugly? Let's talk about who's ugly. Oh, I worked with a woman that
Oh, boy.
was
No,
ugly, but I
we don't
can't
talk
say her
about
name.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I want
The
you to say
ugliest
his name so
dude.
bad. The ugliest dude you've ever worked with?
I'm going to think of it. I think the ugliest dude opener is I mean, Jesus Trejo is not.
Really? You think?
It's different psychology.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I think
I'd
that
rather do
way.
it that way because if I did it this way, it seems like I'm like
Fishing for.
fishing
Yeah,
for
yeah,
something. Yeah, I don't want to do
Say,
that.
say who bombed the hardest?
yeah, so I'm gonna say I'm with Santino now. I'm with Santino.
No, yeah, you went right back to where you were.
I'm with Santino.
Yeah.
Who bombed harder?
Did you feed the cat?
Hold on.
earlier?
Who pumped harder?
Do you have to feed the cat? You have to feed cats?
Shut up, man. Yeah, man.
What is Bobby's morning routine? And when I say morning, I mean, what's his 2:30 routine when he gets up?
2:30.
4:45.
That's early.
What's the earliest he's ever gotten up?
Red Bull, roll around in bed, play games on his iPad, not answer any of his calls from his manager.
Or my agent.
And
I haven't
then-
talked to my agent
and
since
then
Splitting Up Together got canceled.
Asks me to order him food,
Yeah.
eats, plays more games, and goes to the comedy store.
What's up, dude? Because I'm going to say this.
You live a dream life.
It doesn't matter. I made it that way.
What? I know. I just said you live a dream
I
life.
know, but
You're defensive.
People want to fucking shame me. People.
I
Wanna,
didn't shame you.
People want to go. This is not how normal human beings react. Let me say something to everyone in the room right now, okay? Especially you, fuck.
Hey,
All right.
be nice to
Little
John.
giggly fucking nut. Listen, dude. The reason why I do comedy, the reason why I do any of this stuff, is so that I can just relax
Yeah.
in life. It's my family. It's it really is what I do now. One of the things I do to make a living.
I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good way to be. You live your life. You're lucky to have the fans that you have, so you're being appreciative. It's nice. I had a fan ask me in San Diego to sign this poster. I sell these posters, and I said, "What's your name, man?" He goes, Tyler. And then I wrote, Tyler. Yes, and he loved it. He lost it. He was laughing so
Is he a
hard.
stutterer?
Yeah. What do you think that was?
No, because
Maybe he was just nervous.
that he was.
No.
He's
He was.
stuttering.
I thought maybe he was nervous and maybe.
No, he's like-
Why are you laughing at that? He could have been nervous,
He said, "Will you?"
right? this
Look,
one
he
time,
gets so
right?
nervous when you tell him
Son
not
of
to
a-
laugh.
You son of a bitch! You did it again.
He goes.
okay?
Wow,
that's funny.
Tyler, and I wrote Eiler.
Yeah.
I dated a guy who stuttered, really had hard times with T's too.
Yeah, that's the hard. For some reason,
He
T.
was so endearing. Fucked like a champ.
Did he?
Yeah.
He was a pump king, huh?
Yeah, he was like real strong and like his sex didn't match his
His
vocal ability.
Right.
Yeah.
So he had. What else? Tell me more about his strength.
He was really small. I call him Little Herc.
Little Herc. So he could pick you up by your ass cheeks and fuck you in the
Yeah.
sky, like fuck you standing up.
Yeah, it was really, really
That's hot.
impressive.
That's hot.
Because he was so weak in all other aspects of life.
Right, but his fucking was unbelievable. His fucking was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Right.
unbelievable, yeah.
Tell me more. I want to know about all the things that he could do. What was his favorite position?
What was it?
What was your favorite position with him, with Little Herc?
I wouldn't call it a position. I would call it more of a, probably what we call like the helicopter.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Where
Because he was real strong.
So you sit on his penis and he can just spin you on his
No.
cock.
I'm spinning. My pussy's on his face and he's spinning me.
Oh my God!
I didn't know that was the
and I'm
helicopter.
doing the splits.
Whoa! So his tongue is bouncing your clit.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And it's. Are you doing like a helicopter report from like live from the
Yeah.
sky?
That's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah.
There's no traffic down there whatsoever.
Okay,
It's
okay.
clear.
I've had enough. What do we got time?
90 minutes.
We're already at a 90 minutes?
No.
We're at a rom-com right now.
Yeah.
This is a rom com.
I've never done 90 minutes, I don't think, like that free.
That fun? That
It's
free?
pretty good. Really good. Really, really good.
You know why?
I know.
You know why?
We have good chemistry.
Because Kalila and I do very well together in the room.
I have to add one more piece of information.
Is it
Go
about
ahead.
Little Herc?
You know Little Herc? Do you know where I met him? I met him. You know how you used to take
Bobby.
what is that? What do you have in that class? You have to take Speech 101.
Speech
You
101.
have to take that in college, right? It's
Yeah.
that's where I met him. He was taking the speech class. He was like,
And you were like, this guy's
and I
hot
was
as
like,
fuck.
yeah. I was like, I'm gonna fuck that one.
What the fuck?
This is a true story. That's the one I want.
Wow.
Yep.
You want me to touch your pussy, Kalila? I want to put my tongue in your asshole.
It made for a vibrator.
That's very funny. That's very funny. Yeah.
Anyway, shout out to that dude Tyler, and I appreciate the shit out of all the fans too. I want to say what you said was very nice. I appreciate those humans so very, very much.
Can stutterers become actors? Probably not, huh?
There has to have been one or two that have existed.
You're listening to the Bailey J Show.
Happened with it.
So it was shot but never aired? Or
I wasn't alive in the 60s, so I have absolutely no idea if it made it to air. I can't remember. but I know that I read that it was a thing that was, I think it got the kibosh quickly, like it aired and then it got the kibosh, or it never saw the light of day. I'm pretty sure it made it to television though. But that was a big thing. Like Harper Valley PTA was a show for a second with Barbara Eden. Like there's lots of shows like were a show for a second and then it didn't.
That's interesting to me. I would think that if there is footage of a Rosemary's Baby sequel, you would have seen it.
Yeah, it held no interest for me, and it wasn't a movie. It was like a series, so I think that's why it didn't matter to me. And I'm all for a failed pilot. Elvira has a pilot from back in the day. I guess it was probably after the movie came out, so she was getting kind of that mainstream credibility. And there's a failed sitcom pilot.
Mm-hmm.
And Mona from Who's the Boss, I think, is.
Oh wow, she's still alive.
Well, this was a long time ago, but Mona's probably dead.
Right.
But no, this was in the 80s, or maybe early 90s, and it's actually a really good pilot, and it should have gotten picked up.
My favorite failed pilot is Sully, the guy that crashed that plane into the river in New York.
Oh, I get it. A failed pilot. He's a pilot who failed.
They all said he was a hero. I think he failed. He crashed into that river.
Okay. I mean, it's subjective. Look at little Linda Blair.
Tom Hanks plays him in a movie.
Plays Linda Blair?
No, Sully.
No. She dated Rick James.
Oh, wow. The lead singer of Hootie and the Blowfish.
You're listening to The Bailey J. Show.
We've got some of those. Here we go. Jeffrey W. Ryan Rocket.
Ryan Rocket. That's a cute name.
Lover 300.
What was the first name?
Jeffrey W.
Thank you, Jeffrey W.
Lover 300. Alex.
Lover 300. I like that.
Jason F. No, you got declined. Never mind. Don't ignore that one. Strike that from the record. Hood Scholar.
Chutzpah.
Isabella. Jason.
Is it Isabella Rossellini?
Yes.
Does Isabella Rossellini listen to the show?
She does. Jason.
I'm not convinced she would know how to use earbuds.
No. Jason G. Jason Z. Kevin S. Robert J.
Okay.
Scott Eric R. I'm not saying the last names because I figure people don't want their full names out there.
Why? Why would anybody be embarrassed to let everyone know that they listen to a Dick Girl stupid podcast? Thank you, everybody.
You're listening to The Bailey J. Show.
Nice. Yeah. Keep going. According to research published in the journal Geophysical Research Letters, the moon's south pole, Aitken Basin, hides a mass that is estimated to be 4.8 quintillion pounds. Are you ready for it? 480 and a bunch of zeros all written out.
See, that means nothing to me. Whenever people, it reminds me of in Strangers with Candy when, what's his name? When Jellyneck was talking about the kiln in the art thing, and he was like, this thing gets up to 8,000 degrees. That's 1,000. It's like, to put that in perspective, imagine 1 degree 8,000 times or something like that.
Yeah.
That's how all numbers are to me when people tell me numbers.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Stevie Weeby Show, my friends.
Hold up, can I do another commercial?
Yeah, do another commercial.
Make sure you go pick up the Reagan and Watkins
can I just say
album. No.
If you do it too much, if you do it too much, you're not
gonna
like it.
That's why you're here.
No, it's not. The reason why I'm here is you, dude.
No, I know, but this is a part of it. No, I want to make this a part of it.
Green tea.
If you ever see Jeremiah Watkins on the road,
0 calories.
You go up to him after the show and purchase one of these new albums for $10. How much are these?
Whole tea
for
leaves.
$10.
$20
at the merch
not
booth.
tea.
Okay,
concentrates or powder. No sugar, sweetener.
Reagan and Watkins, pick up that. Cop that out. Okay, sorry.
Tea.
Okay, so back to.
Oh, so I have one more thing, and then we'll get to the girl thing. Okay.
Cool. No problem.
So, I was in Madison, Wisconsin this past weekend, and your brother was performing there at a different club. So I was.
My brother was in Wisconsin?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Continue.
So we end up hanging out,
Okay.
and I tell him, I'm like, I'm gonna do your brother's show.
And then what'd he say?
He
Be honest.
This is 100% what he did. He goes, he got real sincere with me, and he goes, "Thank you." Like I was doing like I was like helping you out with a Make-A-Wish or something. And I go, Bobby, it's not like that. I'm friends with your brother. I like we get along really well. He goes, what do you mean you get along? I was like, we're friends. I go, we have chemistry.
Oh, you're killing me, man.
And he goes, what do you mean you have
that
chemistry?
Was a really, dude, I gotta give you a pound. That was a really good interpretation of my brother, man. You got him down right there. You captured his essence right there. Right, Craig? Like the pause, like, man, thank you. Thank you. Oh, my God.
He gets real sincere sometimes.
I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So I was like, no, we're like, I like him. It's not like a thing where I'm doing him a favor. We're hanging out.
Did you tell him that we actually get along as human beings?
I told him. I tried to explain to him. I was like, we riff really well. Well, he doesn't even know about the Scissor Brothers, dude.
He doesn't know any of that.
He doesn't know anything of that, dude.
Doesn't he know that?
Huh? So let's fuck with the Sacklers.
I feel like I'm in a museum of
How
fucking
it's
radio
Sacklers?
right now with all this awesome podcasting shit in there.
Exactly. So now, what do we want to do? Like a meme museum? Some kind of.
Look, the first thing we need to do is a fucking meme museum.
I'm gonna need Nate. Draft a letter to the Sackler family. Who's left? Robert Sackler Jr. Is he still doing his thing?
Deez is left.
He still cashes those checks, baby.
He's not gonna fall.
No. D. Sackler? Nut Sackler? You could have started with Nut. Nut Sackler?
You would have fall for it
My
anyway.
man, white people give the best nicknames. Robert Sackler? Tell him we calling him Nuts now. Nut Sackler. Here's my man Nuts. With a Z
right
at the
there,
end.
that's proof for the pudding, right there.
With a Z at the end.
It's a sad day.
So now what do we need from them?
Look, we need money, and we need it now. I'm not going to
We
lie
need
to
drugs and money, man.
What?
We're militia.
Well, they have drugs.
Well,
I don't want to
let's
be
take
high
this
on
shit
oxys
over.
all day long.
Not all day.
Yeah, just at night.
Okay,
Just
just
at night.
okay, yeah.
We
But then
gotta
you know, in the morning you gotta do a little
We gotta
bump.
be them
you know?
zombie
Yeah, we gotta
vampire.
get yourself going.
Yeah,
Shit.
exactly.
We're
Yeah,
good.
yeah. You don't want to get those DTs.
Yeah.
The fucking Sacklers need to fucking get us a bigger studio. They need to
A couple Monets.
couple Monets.
Monet.
But they're more about artifacts, aren't they? Nate?
Are they?
They diversify, but probably more like historical art.
Yeah, I'm fucking with it. I'll find fucking Noah's Ark, dog. Let's do this shit.
What?
That was the thing. That's how you think we here. It's Noah's Ark.
Can they get us
baby.
the Ark of the Covenant?
No, I want Noah's Ark. Fuck that that Nazi shit.
But if they start killing Nazis, I think maybe they can win back over the public.
That is true.
Bro, they can't start killing alt right people.
You gotta have Milo open up that chest.
Oh my God, he'll be
shit,
fucking
your face
turned-
melts if you see it.
his face will melt. That's some scary shit, bro.
Shit.
The Sacklers are our fucking way out. They're our fucking golden ticket.
All right, but so what are we putting in this letter? Dear my man Nuts,
Dear hold on.
dear Robert, quote Nuts Sackler.
Put them D's nuts.
AKA
know it.
AKA Sacktown. I like that
Oh
fucking nickname.
shit!
See, white.
Like I said, white people nicknames. Tops, tits
White.
and tops.
Heard you're going through some
Big sacks.
Big sack. Hey, Big Sacks. Heard you're going through a tough time right now.
Oh,
You and your old lady aren't getting invited to a lot of parties.
we'll
Guess
invite you to our
what?
party.
Guess what? It's party every night. Thursday.
pants.
Every Thursday night.
At 8.
At 8 p.m. It's called High Society Radio.
Oh yeah.
And we got a fucking spot for you, bro.
We got
As-
stickers and shirts and shit.
As long as MBS doesn't fucking run up in that shit.
Oh yeah. If MBS gets back to us, you are out.
Yes.
Well, we can kind of cover that.
Because all this guy has
we're
pills.
local.
MBS has like an army and harem.
Maybe we can start
That
our
is
own like
true.
Legion of Doom. We got like pill guys.
Well, there's a Legion on the network already, so we'd have to rephrase it.
Well, like yeah, we'll change it.
Just be like, yo, Doom Peoples and shit or whatever. Oh.
Dr. Dooms.
Oh shit, and you an OBGYN is fucking perfect.
There you go.
And he's
Tits
a
McGee
he's a
over
pharmaceutical
here,
rep. I'm sure MBS has a medical degree that he got for free.
Definitely.
Sacktown. Sorry we got off. Don't disregard the Dr. Doom talk, Saki, because we're fucking giving
Big
you
sex.
an offer to stay in New York City. Look, I know you're fucking Upper East Side. You got that new money. Guess what?
Just open up your own museum, bro. I feel like that place that that Limelight was in is up for rent again. You can just throw a museum in that
you're not lying. It's still there.
Yeah.
It's just they got nobody in it. It was a farmer's market for some fucking queer minute, and they changed it out. So it'll be cool, man.
What?
Just name it out.
What kind of minute?
This is all going in the letter.
I meant queer as weird, not queer as homosexual.
It was a $3 minute.
Oh boy.
Not a 5 where it would be queer.
So, in short, Saki, we're gonna fucking hook you
Johnny
up.
Sacktown.
Ew. He died of cancer.
We're gonna hook you up with the people you need to be in touch with because
We all those people.
because the people of the Upper East Side don't want anything to do with it.
Well, like,
We
look,
host
Egypt
orgies.
is kind of played, yo. You got to get me some Atlantis shit.
Look, when's the last time?
Atlantis is on
When's the
the
last
nerve.
time we ever talked about the summer of Twitter or whatever? What was that?
What?
The summer
The
of
fappening?
Egypt or
You
whatever?
talking about
Egypt.
the fappening?
Oh, the fuck. What the fuck is it called?
That revolution?
The spring shit. Arab Spring.
Arab Spring. That shit's over.
I remember
bro.
the fappening. That was at the same time, I think. So that's what I remember.
Hey, Saki,
Dirtier water than
Scarlett
poets.
Johansson's titties was out there. Y'all need to look that shit up.
don't put that in there, Nate. Thank you. P.S.
Black Widow titties.
We'll take some fentanyl patches.
But the kind with the stuff inside, not
Yeah, where you can chew on like a
yeah,
gentleman.
where you squeeze the goo out.
Oh yeah, you look like a
PPS.
Negro baseball player.
Give us some Narcan too, just in case for Ralph,
Oh shit.
aka Benjamin Sutton's.
Donald Trump.
Chris Tucker, Donald Trump.
Chris Tucker?
Chris Tucker.
Is that why he found God in young pussy?
Yeah, pretty much because they look. So in the original prosecution, whatever, they got his flight manifest.
I think it's just a persecution against people who love a little different than you.
I don't know if you should be saying that, Chris. That's pedophilia.
Oh.
And now they're going after everyone and anyone.
Now, how young were the girls?
So, from any women that have come forward, what he would do was he would either ship them in from Russia, or he would go to local high schools in Florida and send his fixers, which are other young women, to go find 14 and 14-year-olds.
Okay, so that's bad.
Yes, that's not good.
No.
And then he would bring them to his home, and he would get massages from them for like up to a year, and he'd pay them $300 a massage session.
But that's probably not illegal.
He was naked, I guess technically not illegal. I don't know. But then eventually he just started raping them once they hit about 15. He would just force himself
That's
on
not
them.
legal.
That's not legal. No, Chris, no.
Even in Florida.
Raping 14-year-olds, not legal.
Even in Florida.
Even in Florida.
Which part of Florida?
All parts. Chris.
Jacksonville?
All parts. Not even Jacksonville is that legal.
Tampa?
No.
I don't know, man. I think the whole
Tallahassee.
Yeah.
No. I know. Look, I know. I was as
You're
surprised.
telling me in the Everglades.
I mean, I was as surprised as anyone else.
Hollywood, Florida.
Dude, you can't bang a 14-year-old in Hollywood, Florida.
Well, he was banging 15-year-olds.
You can't bang them either.
Okay.
And so then he would
Seems odd.
Then he would get the girls that gave him massages, the 14-year-olds, and have them recruit their friends to come over for him to bang them as well. And now there are plenty of theories out
But
there.
why would...
It's like selling Avon.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah,
It's a
yeah,
pyramid scheme.
It's a fucking pedophile Ponzi scheme.
You get 5% of their rape.
So now,
It's like the girls that sell lipstick now online.
and fit tea.
Yeah, weight loss wraps.
So now they're looking. Now there was no real investigation the first time, so now people are actually looking into the investigation, and
They're looking into the original investigation.
I know
And-
they said Clinton rode the plane so many times. The Lolita, his plane was called the Lolita Express.
Yes, that was the.
And Clinton was on so many times, and a few times told Secret Service to get their own ride. I believe.
I didn't see
I believe
that
there's a number of times Secret Service was not there.
So, but here's the thing. So, if they're in the plane over international waters,
Yeah.
Yes, Chris. Still illegal, Chris.
Is it?
Still illegal to rape people in the air, especially
Really?
well, rape in general, and then raping an underage girl. Yes.
in
yes,
the air?
but what if the plane's going against the way the time zones
I thought it was
go?
like-
No, I
so
understand.
they're getting older
Yeah.
as the flight goes.
I see what you're saying,
it's another time paradox.
but no, it's not a time paradox at all. It's still rape. It's still pedophilia.
So if you rape two twins and they're both astronauts,
yes,
but one's on Earth when you rape them and the other one's going to the moon.
Okay.
Which one is more statutory?
I don't know. The moon. I don't know. This is outside of my fucking realm of expertise.
Okay, well, we all know this plane traveled at the speed of fun.
And now, Tim Dillon is going to hell.
Chaotic, these type of events. I'm not saying this is what happened here, but what it does is it discredits any of these movements. I mean, the Black Panthers, whatever they are. You bring in a few guys from the feds who are like, it's not enough. We got to do more.
Right.
We got to go 100, and then you start losing the country. People are like, well, wait a minute. This seems a bit odd.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's bananas discussing this with people because you're like, okay, riddle me this. Go attack, and again, not saying to do this, but wouldn't it make more sense to attack ICE?
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. They think every one of these journalists they throw a milkshake at like a kid gets released from a cage.
These are also the people that supposedly care about the poor and these kids in the camps. Bring the milkshakes to the kids. I bet the kids would like a milkshake. If I was I'm not even in a cage, and I would like a milkshake. I can't imagine if I was in a cage, which I'm against, don't start with me, and somebody handed me a milkshake through the bars,
right.
I would be pretty happy that you didn't waste a milkshake on some fucking guy that wrote an article you didn't fucking like. You're throwing away perfectly good food you could give to the poor of Portland.
Yeah.
Or some white people in a failed band or who's ever really struggling over there in Portland.
Yeah.
But so these again are like all these, you start to realize that some people just want some type of civil war.
Mm-hmm.
They have meaningless lives.
Yeah.
And they fetishize violence because it's not real violence. It's kind of this violence that is controlled to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not like all out open total war.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, here's a journalist that we can pummel.
Right.
Or here's some Proud Boys that we get in a scuffle or whatever.
Yeah.
And these people, I think, they think they're part of this revolutionary struggle.
Yeah.
But they're really not because nobody cares.
Yeah. They're taking an Uber to the revolution.
Yeah, well, of course. They're taking an Uber.
Ridiculous.
And now, Tim Dillon is going to hell.
Time.
Drank Johnny Gosh's blood.
Yeah, Johnny Gosh, Devin.
Gosh.
Not Gosh. Gosh means something's like passe, like it's not cool anymore.
Okay.
Johnny is Gosh. Disappeared so long ago.
Cool.
He is Gosh.
We're so past Johnny.
Johnny Gosh. I mean,
what'd you feel like when you posted the when Louis came out and you got some flack
you're
from
right.
bad comics online?
Louis came out at Skankfest.
It was awesome.
And
to
raped
see.
3 women. And this is a story that no one has heard. Louis got on stage. There was a woman in the front row. He lunged at her and he bit her neck. And everyone laughed.
Yeah.
And then he brutally raped her. And everyone was like cheering and whooping it up.
Yeah.
And then guys were actually throwing their girlfriends at Louis going, rape her! Rape her! And they were filming it.
Yeah.
And the girls were into it at first, but then it was weird.
Yeah.
But I just felt that art is very complex.
Same, yeah.
And I wasn't prepared for all of the raping that happened.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do any comedy. That was the misnomer. He did not tell any joke.
Okay.
There's a story going around that he got up at a comedy festival. A whole group of people was happy to see him. He did 15 to 20 minutes of really funny material and then left, and everyone felt safe and happy. That is actually not the correct story.
Yeah, no.
The correct story is that he brutally raped multiple women in the audience while doing no comedy whatsoever.
Right.
And was paid $4 million to do that by the white male patriarchy, which is now a LLC. And no, listen, I was a Mohegan Sun. Louis was a Skankfest. I was watching that intro, man. It was fucking cool. And I tweeted, this is the coolest moment of the last year. People don't really know what cool is because I didn't say, like, this is the greatest thing for women, you know? Not that it's, I think, a negative thing, but, like, people reacted, like I said, he should run for president.
Right.
What I said was that it was cool that one of the greatest comics that's ever lived popped up and did a set at an underground, completely DIY, do-it-yourself festival, and then nobody gives a shit. Every woman there was happy with it. They were all on their feet applauding. Everybody was excited. The staff at the venue was excited, even though they fucking reversed that position because they're fucking liars. And everybody was cool with it. And I tweeted out, and then a lot of people got mad at me, which is okay. Here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Great.
Right.
Good.
And now, Tim Dillon is going to hell.
He fucking... And this guy, how did he die again, Ben? Oh, it was an aneurysm. I feel bad. It wasn't even his fault.
Jesus.
Was he a good kid? Yeah, he's a good kid. That's sad. Are you still friends with his family? You never knew his family? Oh, so you're just full of shit, huh? He was a good child.
Good boy.
I can't.
Cactus
I'll find
Jack
it, but
Daniels.
Somebody. What school did you guys go to? What's it called?
What?
Jim Ned High School? Named after an Indian. Named Jim Ned?
Oh.
A Native American named Jim Ned? He sold out his tribe. I love that they... A Native American sold out his tribe, and you guys named a high school after him in Tuscola, Texas. Because he sold it out for the white man. Great. Great. Can I sell out gays? I hope the Family Research Council names a building after me. Who is Tim? Why are we going to Tim Dillon's Christian High School? Well, during the Great War, Dillon informed on all the people who wouldn't message him back on Grindr, and they were slaughtered. So he sold out his community, and that's why we named a high school after him. He was a good man. Thank you, Tim. How long have we done so far, Ben? 51. Yeah. We still got a little time here, folks. There's one more thing I wanted to get into. I think we got into a lot.
I don't know you. I just know some things. I'm not sure how or why I know them. I just do. Within a year's time, at least one of your unanswered prayers will be answered, and some of your forgotten dreams will be realized. You may feel, sense, or even see at least once a bright white light. It brings indescribable peace and joy. You deserve it. Till then, mon ami, and to see in the deals is your témoin.
So somebody's got a crush on you.
It sounds
Nick.
like good news. I don't know.
Have you heard the good news?
To me, that sounds all like good stuff.
Oh my god!
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
You're about to get John Lennon, dude.
Yeah. Before you do it, just let me know what that part in Spanish was, because it's driving me insane.
It's gonna be like that guy.
And before you say it was French, he starts off in French, switches to Spanish, and then goes back to French.
Yeah. He's throwing you off the scent, dude.
Yeah. What's the scent?
He's a master
Dog
of
shit.
romance language.
He's a scratch and sniff my penis sticker. Yeah, dude. Your dreams are
Someone's
dying.
gonna kill you.
Yeah, probably.
Didn't the guy who killed Lennon have a
crush?
No, he had a copy of Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah.
Him.
Oh no, the guy that
kills people
that
is
shot at
idiots.
Reagan was the one who had a crush on.
Yeah,
Jodie
Hinckley
Foster.
had a crush on Jodie Foster, but yes, I think that was it
Mark David
Chapman. Yeah. Yeah.
So this guy's gonna have a copy of the Don Simpson autobiography, dude.
Yeah, probably
a well-worn copy of that one.
Yeah.
He's just gonna.
Well, he killed Lennon for saying that the Beatles are bigger than Jesus. That was Christian terrorism.
Interesting.
Oh my God.
Have we
We
ever?
didn't talk
Well,
about
we've
that,
never
huh?
blasphemed God in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, now Stav's scared.
Huh?
Now Stav's scared.
No, I'm not scared.
It's fucking annoying that like I'm the one that has to be murdered, even though I do like probably 70% of the jokes on the show.
Yeah, well, that's
that's why you're gonna get murdered.
You put it out there.
But Paul McCartney's better than John Lennon.
No, John Lennon was like the guy.
No, he's just like a fucking weird guy that said weird things. Paul McCartney's a better musician.
But at the time, who was the most popular?
That's true.
So there you go. So that's what you get for being good
But
at
I'm
the
not
show.
the most popular.
Yeah, you are.
Who's the most popular?
From the
Stav's
show?
the most popular.
From the show,
From
you're
the
the most
show,
popular.
you're the most
for
popular.
Sure.
No.
Yes.
I'm just the.
Listen, man. You're gonna die.
I'm the conductor.
You're the one that's gonna die.
Stav tells me what to say. He's
That's
actually
true. I write all of Nick's jokes.
He's the one that's. I'm just some stooge.
No, nice
if
try.
If you're gonna
bitch.
murder somebody,
nice try. For years, I've been establishing myself as a fat, dumb moron,
with the
and that will
smartest
save
play
me.
of all.
Adam's definitely safe. That we can agree on.
Yeah, no one
will forget that he was on the podcast.
Yeah, within hours of your death, people would forget that.
The second you're dead, so now it's just Adam's Twitter followers just drop precipitously.
What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, I've been saying it's like what the dream is for me to kill a bunch of the fans.
You have to now.
That would be great.
They've started it.
Such a reversal would be. No one sees that coming.
No.
Right.
Imagine a Pantera concert. It's 2003. And then that guy is like, I'm going to kill Dimebag. But he's walking to the stage. And before he can, fucking Phil Anselmo pulls out a
AR-15.
AK-47 and
Hell
just
yeah.
lights up the crowd. He's like, what can I say? I'm twisted. I did. I only made the show popular so I could gather a bunch of people like me in one place and kill all of them.
Like kind of memorize another man's
Yeah, I
food.
bet you think it is, dude. I bet you do. I bet
it's
you
weird.
think stuff like that is weird.
I think it's shady.
This is an argument I made when I accused you of memorizing my bedroom for putting up a Mark Wahlberg poster.
Oh yeah, that's
you did.
funny.
You did memorize it, Adam.
You did. You memorized my bedroom, which makes you gayer
Pause.
than me for just having a cool poster.
Yeah, pause.
In my room,
You memorized where
in
the
my
posters
room,
of the hot
in
men
my room.
in
It
Nick's
says
rooms
no
are.
trespassing on the door by room.
Yeah.
No girls allowed.
Anyone
fucking Bart
entering here is
Simpson that's-
dead.
Yeah.
And has a skull and crossbones.
Yeah. My cool Sid from Toy Story bedroom I have as a 30-year-old.
No one come in here. It's just different posters of Mark Wahlberg
Stay the
shirtless.
hell out. I just write Metallica on Mark Wahlberg's stomach. Like, it's a Metallica poster. And so, I'm gay because I like Metallica.
Gay porn, and you just write Megadeth,
Yeah, right.
Metallica, Pantera.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I love metal, so I'm gay
I'm
now.
the gay now because I like fucking Fate's Warning.
Yeah. That is true, though. Nick does have posters of Mark Wahlberg.
Mm-hmm. I have
Everywhere.
a poster of Mark Wahlberg.
He's got 3.
I have 1.
It's the Funky Bunch.
He's got the Calvin
Klein
where
ad.
he's grabbing his dick.
Yes.
Yeah, but it says Metallica.
But it says Metallica on it, so it's not gay.
I might make those and I might sell those.
That's very funny.
Mark Wahlberg grabbing his dick, but it says Metallica.
Yes, dude. Damn, that's how we go back in time and get a bag.
Yeah, it's
We
not.
sell closeted homosexuals in the 80s in the hair metal phase. Gay pornography that has different band names on it.
Excuse me, it's a Judas Priest poster. It's a fireman, like with just a buff fireman with giant nipples sticking his ass out. This is Judas Priest. He's got wings. He's got like eagle wings.
Yeah, just demons having gay sex. It's like, no, the devil. Being gay is evil. I'm metal, dude.
Yeah, it's a sin.
It's a sin, so it's actually metal.
Satanic.
Shit, if Rob Halford was here right now, I'd probably jump his bones.
I'd jump his bones. I'm there if I was y'all.
Yeah.
Nick and I were like
Look,
climbing
it's that
roller coasters.
It's that creepy old man who's actually just 30.
Yeah, and he just talks like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Nick and I went to this. There's a Six Flags that was abandoned after Katrina, and then basically like nature was reclaiming the theme
yeah.
park. And there was
sounds
just
cool.
graffiti everywhere, and then it was just,
Nature.
there was like it was fenced off, but you can like go under the fence and then walk around.
Damn.
Yeah, there were a lot of like swastikas that the guy like couldn't get right. You could like tell there's like a row of them.
His first go round.
Yeah, he was like trying to spray paint them.
Damn.
Yeah, but he got it.
Were any of the
A lot of free Boosie tags.
free him?
He's free now. It
It's
worked.
true.
Man, Jeffrey Epstein is such a weird looking guy.
Yeah,
His
his smile
chin.
was fucked up in that video, dude.
Yeah.
Too much gums.
Too much gums, and he's got weird fish lips, almost reptilian. He does look like a lizard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
A leathery, like lizard person. But I guess that's anti-Semitic to say.
To say lizard person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt Christman got in trouble for that.
Are there already jacked pedophiles?
Epstein was kind of built.
R. Kelly.
I guess R.
R. Kelly is in immaculate shape.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say immaculate.
Have you not seen his music videos?
At points in his life, maybe.
R. Kelly was the master of the flowing open shirt and wind machine music video aesthetic.
It's also so funny he just cannot read.
Yeah, he's illiterate.
That's awesome.
That rocks. Look at how much he was able to accomplish in his life.
For not reading?
How did he learn the words to the songs?
Yeah, dude.
How did he write Trapped in the Closet if he couldn't read?
He literally probably talked it into a tape recorder.
He probably recited it to one of his slaves.
His sex slaves?
Yeah.
Dad, I gotta show you. You don't really need to know how to read.
No,
If you
reading
can
is
be a singer and have a harem of sex slaves.
a harem.
Harem.
Haram is like it's like-
Everybody's afraid of the Face app now because it's a Russian company.
yeah, you love it, Nick. You've been going off on FaceApp.
I used it a couple times, yeah.
I liked
Yeah,
it.
you
I
love
like
it,
the one
dude.
where you have an emo haircut and a gray beard.
Yeah,
that's the good one.
The Ken Burns.
Yeah, the Ken Burns.
Fine, $8 at the door.
I'll be in Rochester August 3rd. Buy tickets to that. And Boston 16th to the 17th. Oakland, the first show already sold out. We added a second. Buy those tickets. I'll add a third, baby. I'll do as many as you motherfuckers want.
Come.town is where I'm selling shirts. Soon to be the place, eventually, where you can buy tickets to our live shows. I'm going to have that.
Nice.
I'm going to integrate that Cometown.events.
And we got a little meeting. We're working on something. We're trying to come to the U.S., so stay tuned for all three
A lot
boys
of
are
people
going to
don't
start
know,
coming.
but we're actually all expats. And this,
Yeah.
this show is recorded.
On St. James Island.
Yeah, on Little St.
Little
James.
St.
On
James.
Big St. James.
Big St.
Island.
James.
St.
We only
James.
fuck big fat
Big
bitches.
fat whores.
Now,
with
how
fat
much
titties.
weirder would that be? Is if there was a guy with a private island where he had a bunch of just BBW sex slaves.
That would be. I mean, until they became slaves, that sounds like an awesome place.
I'm just hearing steel drum in my mind right
yeah,
now.
dude, I'm
thinking
trying
about-
to go to Big St. James, honestly.
To the guy named Jeffrey Jackson, he's like, "It's my island. It ain't none of your damn business. You keep goddamn hands off my motherfucking island." Just big bitch
Jeffrey
island.
Jackson.
Yeah, and then it's like all the buildings look like that weird Egyptian temple.
Yeah.
Except there's one that's just a regular house, and they're like, "What the fuck is this? What is this weird regular looking house?"
Just one McMansion.
Yeah.
No, it's just like
Look,
a house.
They ain't no weird hotep worship going on. With just fucking big bitches here, bringing some of the top players from around the world. We got George Clinton. We got George Clinton flying in on a private flight.
People Rice.
Just, half of British P-Funk has
Hell yeah.
visited Big St. James Island. Manny Fresh, Chris Tucker.
Manny Fresh. The big timers are
Big
definitely
timers
over
have
at Big St.
reunited,
James
yeah.
Island.
Baby and Manny Fresh.
All of Cash Money Records. this
Silk
would be
the
there.
Shocker.
Silk the Shocker is definitely there, dude.
C Murder,
Clips.
who's I think in jail still.
Clips, and Birdman hanging out at Big St. James Island.
Yep.
Like literally just a room full of guys just rubbing
Free
their-
Max B and send him to Big St. James Island.
Max B needs to get out.
Let him be on house arrest at Big St. James Island.
That's an official Cometown stance.
Yeah.
He got a raw deal.
Yeah.
And he invented the term wavy.
Yeah. It's like people are trying to figure out what Jeffrey Jackson's business actually is. And he's like, we selling clothes, but they also sell phone accessories. Like, it doesn't make any sense. No, what you have to understand is it's a multi-level marketing operation.
I love Big St. James Island.
Oh man, I want to go.
That would be great.
All the players, all the best
We're
players.
inviting some of the top players from around the world.
Some of the top players. Oh god, that's Valhalla. That's the paradise that I'm trying to go to.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Also, shouts out to the Newsstand. Have you guys been to where?
Oh, yeah,
since
Newsstand.
it's no.
Have had access to as a poor person.
That's right.
It's not like you're fucking pulling out your EBT card and you're like, Japanese noodles only, sir. You're not getting no pasta.
No noodles made by white people for white people.
Yeah.
Stay out of the Italian section. Only the fuck you get tacos and you get
Just
ramen.
some Italian guy watching that happen. He's buying fucking ravioli with his food stamp card.
Mamma mia!
It's a fucking disgrace.
This is a disgrace.
My little cousin Paolo, he made those noodles with the sweat off the back of his hands.
If Robert De Niro were here to see this.
To Italians, everything is sacrifice. Everything you do after you get out of bed is some kind of sacrifice. He put his pants on with the sweat of his brow. Well, he had to go outside. And he went outside. And he did it despite the fact that there was a door in the way. Nobody could tell him no. He wasn't going outside that day.
That's true.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Every single day that man would have breakfast.
Nothing would stop. Crack the eggs. Unless a man would stop at the shell.
When I was your age, I did push-ups.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck Italians.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I told you guys I went to Tony's house.
Yeah,
oh yeah, what happened?
saw.
I saw that. I didn't know, but what was going on? You did a little tour.
Adam's been
I went to
Adam's been
Holston's.
hanging out with his real friends now that he's
a big ass though.
I mean, of course they have a big ass.
But if you go over 2, that's tough.
When they don't, that's the funniest. They just look like Dr. Robotnik.
Oh no! Yeah, if they put pigtails in, they look like Dr. Robotnik.
I'm glad we've
They
moved
have
on from
never had
Epstein.
a shot with a single white guy. Ever.
Mm-hmm. But
but yeah.
Having said that,
You know what? It is nice that that's kind of how the world worked out. And in fact, it's funny because it's like you almost think because there is so much manipulation and contrivance in the way that
the elites are
society,
making that happen.
they were like, well, what are we doing after slavery now that and they're like, I've noticed that some of the white women are becoming disgusting.
No,
they're like,
Nick.
maybe.
So you think this is part of Jim Crow?
Yeah, they're like, hold on, fellas, I got a plan here.
Is there going to be?
It's going to take about 200 years. But we're going to slowly invent a type of music called rap.
See, I would say no ass, no titties is more the purview of a short Hispanic man.
Sure, but I'm talking about just like a big, fat, disgusting,
a big old gal.
I think I like a plus size cutie, man. Even honestly, I've busted the quickest.
Look, if we don't
So
do
a
something
big-
about these
big
ugly
boned
women, they're going to
one.
start
Yes.
wanting the right to vote.
This is pre-women suffrage.
Yeah, right. We need to get our colored friends in on these Elizabeth Cady Stanton type ladies.
So this all started with them trying to dick down Elizabeth Cady Stanton so good that she would forget about women's suffrage.
Yes.
Okay, all right, I'm in it.
Yeah.
Wow, this is really Nick.
Little-
You're uncovering the conspiracies left and right now.
Little did Elizabeth Cady, ECS seems like, I don't know if she was a fan of dick. She seems like
an
early lesbian.
An early lesbian.
That guy coming back in the meeting. Bad news, folks. They just fucking each other now. And it's worse than we thought. You would think that would satisfy them, but they want even more rights now. They're trying to take away the liquor and become president.
Is this plugged?
You
That's
use-
great.
Beep.
If it doesn't register, you're not
Yeah.
on.
No scars, no neck tattoo. Nope. Sorry.
Yeah.
There's got to be a certain.
Mm-hmm.
There's criteria to join this shit.
Mm-hmm.
We need to see your the bottle of pills, your Zoloft that you haven't taken for 4 weeks in a row.
You
To
need to put
be
that
in.
bitch on whole loft. See, in the South, they got different medicines. Ain't nobody in the South taking no damn medicines.
Just fry up some chitlin.
All you need is summertime. That's the answer. Shit, everybody had a kiddie pool, whole thing filled with Coors Light.
I would love for you to just write this, hire someone, and just watch him do it.
Yeah.
Book
That'd
out
be
Madison
awesome.
Square Garden.
No, dude, just book like a little, 80 seat thing in
Just
South
like
Carolina or something.
Just like an ironically racist Roman emperor would. Just at the Coliseum, and I'm like making some black guy do. I've enslaved Cat Williams, and I'm making him do my material for an audience of 30,000 people. Are you not entertained? Some woman feeding me grapes. Feed him to the lions. To me, and you're like, I don't know.
You could say it was gay in that because it is legitimately gay.
Gay guys like the Oscars because they think the statue's hot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why they're into it.
Get those fucking
roasted.
Roasted. Yeah, award shows are boring as fuck.
They're pretty
shit,
boring.
man.
I like when people have like meltdowns. Like Meryl Streep had a meltdown a couple years ago at Trump. That was pretty
Did
funny.
she?
Well, now
yeah,
all
some
award
shit that
shows
everyone.
No, that wasn't Meryl Streep. That was fucking.
No, Meryl Streep's like, Mr. Trump, we're gonna go.
There was no that
Robert
hot
De
lady.
Niro said, "Fuck."
That was awesome.
First of all,
Frances
fuck Trump.
McDormand had the funniest where she's like,
She was drunk.
Quit any project that doesn't have a diversity rider that says that 50% of everyone who works on the movie is black. And then like that night she called the police on a black guy and he went to jail.
Oh yeah, there was a black
She
guy at
accused
her
some
house.
black guy of stealing her award. Yeah,
No, that's
yeah.
real. Yeah.
Oh,
That's real.
my
Yeah.
God damn.
That's so funny.
That
how
is
does
incredible.
Joel Cohen seems like the chillest guy though. Like, how could he handle that?
Maybe
Yeah,
she sucks
everybody-
dick like a
Everybody
Hoover.
bitch fuck up here and there, man.
Yeah.
In the South,
In the
that's
South.
something they know.
In the South, the bitches don't fuck up in the South.
It's shit. You fuck up in the South.
Yeah.
The bitch, she the one
You're
cleaning
just-
up the mess.
You're doing Yakov Smirnoff.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
No, that whole Sinbad special is
It's
like
just
a Yakov
Yakov
Smirnoff
Smirnoff,
about the
yeah.
70s. At one point, he's like, he has like this one line in it where he's like, in the 70s, you get hit by a car, get right back up. He's like, no.
That's just so not
It's just
true.
bed space and time. It's
Yeah.
just
If anything, the cars
there's
were
no
much heavier and less safe.
Yeah, the cars were like literally like a sedan was 4,000 pounds. Yeah.
Fucking Sinbad. Come see us, motherfucker. We'll tune your ass up.
I'll beat
Your
Sinbad
fucking
ass.
high yellow ass, Sinbad.
He's a great comic, though.
Yeah, I do. I actually like
Those
Sinbad.
specials were great.
What was I just gonna say?
What was I had one day when I was like 20 where I got real high. I'm like, question.
Boo.
I'm like, no, I'm fucking
I'm
hosting
the host,
show.
motherfuckers.
Who the fuck are these judges, anyways? You're never even on camera. What is that? The Jeopardy judge, like the Jeopardy judges need to live in secrecy in case what? Somebody comes to their house,
Kills them.
be like,
dude.
change your fucking opinion about
Yep.
the way that's pronounced.
Yeah.
When did they go to the judges?
Bro, there's
do it a
no
lot.
judge. There's some fucking
Fucking he
intern
looks
with a
up- he looks
Wikipedia.
off
it's just a
camera-
Jewish
He looks
lawyer.
off camera at a producer or something
Yeah.
because they'll say things and then,
Oh, if they're gonna accept it or not? Yeah, because it's close.
Yeah. Show me having sex. Name something you shove in your vagina that gets hard and releases sperm.
If they let me write the questions
yeah,
too,
yeah, yeah.
if I hosted and
Well,
write the questions,
a lot of Family Feud is like that. They're like, what's
they
something-
set 'em up
Yeah,
every
they're like,
time.
what's something that's long and hard that you love sucking on? And then the family will be like, and they'll be like, a penis. And then Steve Harvey's like, I can't believe this.
Yeah, I love
In
it.
God's house, they're gonna, they're gonna, and he's like fucking having
Yeah.
a meltdown over like.
I
what is-
love it, dude.
Yeah.
They really set his ass
One of my
up.
favorite fucking Mad TV jokes was when they would do Louis Anderson Was it Frank Caliendo as Louis Anderson?
Oh yeah, the
Or
Mad
sometimes
TV.
maybe it was Will Sasso. I can't remember.
It was Will Sasso.
Yeah, but he'd be like, all right, let's be a feud. You know, and then
Yeah.
like there's one time where his pants just fall down and he doesn't realize it because he's too fat.
That's very funny.
It's
That's
so
very
goddamn funny.
That's very funny.
It's the Real Ass Podcast. It's your boy Louis J. Gomez.
We're Rattlesnake, Real Ass Dude, Ultimate Minority, Joint Jet of Comedy. I got a lot of names.
Confrere.
Conferee.
A fellow member of a profession, a colleague.
Well.
Okay,
Almost.
I'm your conferee.
You're my conferee.
I'm
I'll
your,
say
I'm your
you're definitely my
conferee.
conferee.
Okay, that's fine.
Brennan Sagalow. Sagalow, very happy to have you here
Thanks
today.
for having me,
I'm
man.
Pocket Grams. Pocket Grams is here.
Pockets Grams is here.
How you doing, brother?
I'm tired, man.
What happened? You were late.
Yeah, I was late. I woke up black this morning.
But you were white last night.
Yeah, bro, man. Like, the ones that wake up black, it's rough.
Did they ever do that movie? You know how they did the movie where the girl wakes up, she wishes upon a star that she has a penis,
Yeah, they did that.
and then I know they did that one, but then they also did the one where, like, you know, they've done a few father-son switch ones.
Yeah,
Parent the Lindsay Lohan one.
Yeah, they've done that one, but have they ever done a guy wishes he was black?
They did that on Always Sunny.
They did it.
Yeah, he didn't wish they were black, but they woke up black.
They all woke up black. It's
Yeah,
really
they all
funny.
woke up black. Yeah.
Have you not seen that?
Nobody would wish for that.
No, why would you do that to yourself?
It was a voodoo curse by a fucking gypsy.
It's really good. It's a musical. It's The Wiz.
Dude, that's so fucking
Oh,
funny.
and that Little Dicky video where Little Dicky turns into Chris Brown. Chris Brown turns into Little Dicky, and then he keeps saying nigga as Chris Brown because that's what you would do as a black guy.
Of course. I would do that as a white guy. That's not huge news for me.
Look, we have an incredible show planned today. It is the Real Ass Podcast. It's Friday. We're gonna wrap up this fucking week hard, baby boys. I'm getting a tattoo after this.
What are you getting?
I'm not 100% positive yet, but I'm getting it. It's not. No, I am 100% positive, but I'm not exactly.
I'm positive he's getting a tattoo.
I'm HIV positive, so I had to sign a special release.
2 pairs of gloves.
Yeah. No, I'm getting. I gave him the concept, which is I want to get something that represents chaos theory, right?
Okay.
And so the only concept that I have is a double pendulum. The way it swings, that's supposed to represent chaos theory, right? So I want to get a double pendulum and have it like fucking create like a really cool design in here.
That's gonna suck.
Cool.
It's gonna suck.
He gives it to you, you're like,
Stop trying to have tattoos with meanings.
Yeah, he just writes
Anytime
faggot on
there's
your
a
forehead.
meaning, it really does stink.
It's really sucks. Just
Yeah.
shit you like.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say like a mathematical equation or some shit, which would have been kind of like I would, but no, a double pendulum. Like, how do you represent a double pendulum in a tattoo, dog?
It's gonna be a double pendulum, and it's gonna draw like if you've ever seen, you can actually look on YouTube like a double.
He
pendulum
just scribbled. He
representing-
tried to draw a double pendulum.
Fuck,
he
that's
did
what it
cartoon
is.
writing.
It looks like scribble.
It's gonna be like a double pendulum, with one pendulum and then another pendulum coming together.
That's what it technically it draws scribble. Like, can you please pull up the video?
You're gonna get a spirograph.
Can you please? They're making me look stupid again on my own show. I'm sick of it.
I need to see what.
Why are people intimidated by Bobby Kelly, but they come to my show and just mock me to my face?
I'm not intimidated by anyone.
It's like those
anymore.
puffer fish.
It's the Real Ass Podcast.
But how intense is it? How long is it intense when you get released in that motherfucker?
There's a moment, so here's you get pulled up, right, and you're on a fucking cable, and you're with your two best friends. You're like, we're gonna die, dude. This is fucking nuts. And you see everyone on the ground. They're like little ants, and you're like, this is nuts. And one person pulls the cord. They go 3, 2, 1, pull it, and you pull it, and there's literally a half a second where you're suspended in the air, like Wile E. Coyote when he would overrun.
Oh yeah, where it's like,
and you're just stuck up there. Yeah,
you're floating, and you go, huh? He goes, oh, fuck. And then you start careening down toward the earth, and it comes at you. It is what you would see if you're jumping off a building.
You just made my toes go like
it's
this.
Nuts.
Do you have a harness? Like, does the harness go between your legs?
Sort of, yeah, because between your legs and up your body, you're in a harness like that.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so fucking...
I was trying to figure out if you could jerk off while you did that.
No.
Because they can't stop you.
Yeah, they couldn't stop you from coming on everybody.
Dude, that would feel amazing.
You see your jizz just float in the air for a second.
Yeah, it's above. Yeah, you're past it. You got to matrix it.
See the face.
It's a great show. It's a great show.
I'm having a lot of fun.
Great.
Yeah, those people should just go to a park that has those grills.
Right.
Like Griffith Park is not far.
Right. Griffith Park is like people with homes cook there.
Yeah, they got free grills.
Yeah.
You could just do it up there.
Anybody can cook there.
Yeah.
That is one of the nicest parts of LA, by the way. And if people don't know, that is a fucking wildlife area. That's a legit wildlife area. There is a real predator prey fucking law of the jungle thing going down right now in Griffith Park. It's mountain lions and deer.
Yeah.
And it is going down.
And coyotes.
Every day. And coyotes. You are doing all your stuff. It's a really amazing place, right? Because here we are. We got Pasadena and Glendale and Burbank and L.A. You know, beautiful. Fucking BMWs driving by.
Teslas.
Everything's cool. People are jogging. They got ear pods in. They're jogging in Griffith Park. They're jogging right near a war zone.
Yeah, I hear
There's a war zone.
bushes rustling sometimes because I live around the corner, and I'm like,
fuck, dude.
Like I'm stay paying attention 100%.
We got a giant framed picture headed to the studio of this mountain lion that was photographed by a camera trap. You know what a camera trap is?
Nah.
They set them up to monitor the numbers of wildlife and to just try to get an accurate assessment of what's in the area. So what it is like a camera. That's the photo. It's
Damn.
a camera that operates on motion detection. So as this cat, this probably 150-pound, super muscular, grown-ass mountain lion with a fucking collar on his neck. His name is P22. That's what it said. Does it say up there?
Yeah,
Is it just
weighed it.
P22?
It's about 119 pounds as of May.
Okay, so it's not quite that big. Yeah. So it's still big enough to kill everyone in this room.
Yeah, for sure.
If it's in the room with us, we're fucked.
Yeah.
But look how muscular it is. I mean, that is look at the size of its goddamn forearms. Those are Franco Columbo forearms. That is a
got
terrifying
a chest.
animal. And that animal lives around where all these people are jogging. It's a really strange situation.
Yeah, I'm never going to Griffith Park again. Fuck that.
It's a great park.
Yeah.
They don't fuck with people.
Till I saw P125. I'm out. Stay in my house, bro.
Look at the Hollywood sign behind it, though. It's so perfect.
That
it's
is-
almost like a fake picture.
That is so close to me.
Yeah, so
Like,
close to you.
I went to the park yesterday. I'm like a block and a half away from that joint.
Dude, I run with a knife.
Oh, yeah?
I do. I run with this fucking half-face blades knife. It's called SHPOS, subhuman piece of shit. That's what the name of the knife is. Soccer.
I appreciate that.
Do they say soccer where you're from, like originally?
In England?
Yeah.
Nah.
No, not in England. In England, it's football.
Yeah, only in America they say soccer.
But before where did it become football? Was it always football in Europe?
It was always football.
Well, why when it came over here did it switch over?
No idea.
Why didn't they come up with another name for football?
Oh, because
you hardly ever kick a football.
I think they were playing football, like the soccer football, and then somebody picked up the ball and started running with it, and they started tackling each other. Like I heard some story like that. And then they kind of created football, and it evolved from there. But then they never changed the name.
Isn't that weird that like football's called football when the only person who kicks it is a guy who can't even play the game?
It's the least significant person on the team as far as getting pussy when there's a championship. Yes. That is weird. Yeah.
And you're not allowed to hit him, right?
Right. And you're not allowed to hit him. Yeah.
That's crazy. You can hit him.
It's not while he's in motion of his vulnerable person. They try to be safe.
Oh, so you can't hit him while he's kicking?
While his legs up in the area.
Oh, that's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
What a bitch ass rule.
You can if you block the ball. Yeah, if you block the ball, and then you can hit him. Yeah.
But isn't it crazy that that's football? There's only one time it gets kicked.
Right.
How is that football? Why? What a silly name. Right?
Doesn't make sense. But I'm not mad at it. You know, it's like fine. It's whatever.
Imagine if they called, baseball. What would they call it? Foul.
If they
called it foul. We're playing foul. Well, it's something that happens every now and then in this game. It has nothing to do with running around the bases. It's about touchdowns. You should call it touchdown. We're gonna play touchdown.
Because it's just baseball. It's just like we're trying to get from base to base.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm working on it. Leave me the fuck alone. But I blame Louis for a lot of that shit.
Yeah, I do that too.
He just-
That's how I
every
always
year
put
he
it,
did
and
it.
that's what I told. Because when I was having, I don't mean to go back in the weeds, but when I was having my meetings with Netflix, and they were like, "Well, do a half hour with us, and then you'll still have that other half hour, and you can shape it into something else." And I was like, I don't write like that.
Right.
I have presented this as a full meal. This is the meal. I'm not giving you half the meal
Right.
and then putting the other half in the freezer so that you can have it at another time. It's gonna taste fucking gross and old and stale.
So
and then
good.
I was like, look, this is my hour, and you guys can have it or not. Or I'll go with somewhere else, but I won't be coming back to you next year because I don't write like that.
Right.
I'm not a guy who writes an hour every year. Louis can do that, and we all saw what made it possible for him to do that.
Oh,
That's
shit.
the only way to do that.
Yeah, there's no other way. There's really no other way. I mean,
No,
that's-
nobody else was doing it. So we know what powered him.
Yes, yeah, we know
if
the
you
fuel.
want- yeah, if you want me to go do that,
Tell me and I will. Fine. This is for the fans more than anything. That's what you say. Yeah, I think it's I think the whole game is getting really, I think in comedy right now it's going to get back to people just giving a fuck about putting out good shit and
That's what I like.
and let it sit.
Yeah,
you know?
the art. Because I feel even with me, I got caught up in just being like, I need to get some money, and I need to, with my son and everything. I'm like, I have to get some fucking money. I can't
Right.
be living in an apartment with 6 other comedians. You know. So, but then.
Shout out to comics that live with 6 other comedians.
Yeah,
by the
shout
way.
out. You hustling.
Do your thing,
It's a
man.
lot of fun sometimes.
Yeah.
Y'all all sleeping with the same girl. She there 3 different times that week. I've been through that. It's gross.
But for you, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For the time being, it's fun. But never again. No,
Yeah,
never
it's
ever
20s.
again.
Yeah.
It's 20s. Yeah, 20s. That's what it should be called. That's a sitcom. 20s. Just 8 dudes living in an apartment together. 20s. Struggling, broke, sharing a girlfriend. It's a real life thing.
When you hear that bomb blast, get a shot blast. Listen to the podcast, it's all up in your mom's ass. Big J kills them like O.J. Simpson. A quit, if the fingerless blood don't get break quick by that big dick Dave Smith. He all up in your ribs while he talking politics. Or get bit when you rattle by that Puerto Rican snake. They natural born killers, legion of skanks.
My flight crew, like right there, I'm like, we're fucked, guys.
Like, is this plane?
Goes, can I get some coffee? He goes, I don't know. And he's like, march to the back of the plane. Like,
You get on the plane.
What did she just find out?
The pilot's wearing.
They hang up the phone from the pilot. and They go, He goes,
Is this plane safe to fly? I go, think so.
The pilot's
Let
wearing.
me
The
check
pilot's
real
wearing
quick.
and one basketball shorts.
And it's a lady.
Yeah, yo, dog, you want a biscotti?
We started 45 minutes late. I only wanted to start 38 minutes late.
We'll make it up in the air.
Lewis did get here at 7:45, by the way.
I got here pretty early.
It was after 7:30.
You mean after 9:30?
9:30, whatever.
I rolled
Right at
up
9:30,
Right
literally.
at 9:30, I rolled up.
Okay, that's fair.
And I literally
Not
rolled
in the
up
room.
on a skateboard. No, I was outside smoking weed.
Right.
Little
That
did
counts
we know.
as working.
Joe.
we know we were so far away from starting.
Why do people think that Walt Disney hated Jews?
Because he hated Jews.
But what's the
Can I get a quote? I hate Jews. Walt
was the
Disney.
press on that during his life?
No.
No, I think it was. I think it was kind of like okay during his life.
Dr. Seuss
To hate Jews.
talked about
Yeah.
hating Jews.
Yeah, he
Did he
did
really?
also did,
Yeah.
like racist like cartoons he drew for like different like magazines.
I will not let them in my house.
On Saturday, they can't have ham. If they have eggs
I
and ham,
will
they
not,
have to,
shall not.
if they have eggs and ham, they have to bury the plate.
They did really well in a business run by Jews, though.
Yeah, look, these are Dr. Seuss racist.
Oh,
terms.
shit. Look at that.
It looks like Race Wars podcast.
Are those Jews?
I think that's a.
No, these
black
are.
guy.
This is Dr. Seuss just being racist. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Good old
What's going
fashioned.
on in this
That's
cartoon?
his drawings? That's hilarious.
What's he doing? What's the cartoon
I
supposed
don't know.
to be?
Some savages are cooking a white man.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta
doesn't
read
seem
the
so
whole
bad.
thing.
Oh, Horton, here's a black guy on his back.
Wife on vacation, King? Vacation, nothing. Nice girl, but I simply had to swap her in for the flit gun.
Oh, this is about black people liking fat white chicks.
These are the only elephants with sound systems in them.
What is a flit gun like a bug killer? Is a flit gun a bug killer? And they're saying that the bugs are flying around the black people? Is that what it is?
Maybe.
That doesn't seem all that racist.
I don't know.
Jay, I
Seemed
don't
like a
think we
good
can just
story.
smoke in here.
We did last week.
We can't do that.
If somebody says something, I will stop.
Can I smoke a blunt at least? Does anyone get a
Oh, well,
blunt?
look how it opens up big.
They natural born killers, legion of skanks.
Racists are mad, like idiots.
Are they just mad? I haven't actually seen
It's a
anyone
dumb
mad.
thing to be mad about
She's
if you're
pretty.
mad about anything other than racism. Oh, who gives a shit?
Her face is fucking. Her eyes are further apart than something that's far apart. Her eyes are far apart.
Then a father to his son.
There you go.
Thank you. I heard the flounder is fried.
So I mean,
I heard the spelling it L-I-L mermaid.
Little Mermaid.
That's way better. Where the sea at? Where the ocean at? 5, 4, 3, 2. Where the sea at?
Black jokes are the best.
Well, they had an ugly Snow White at Disney World when I went. They said a fugly bitch.
Ugly?
Just a fugly woman.
Jay, do you have nail polish on one nail?
Yes, nail polish on one nail.
Is this new?
Yeah.
It is, but it's been for a reason.
Why?
It's because
Did you lose one of your homies?
No, it's for Darrell. I stopped
For
biting
Black Little Mermaid?
I was able to stop biting my nails, and all my nails are clear except my smoking fingernail is all yellow. So,
So you'd rather it be black?
Yeah, I would.
I'd rather be
cover it
black
up, and
than
then when
Asian.
it grows, and then when it grows out, I won't do that.
Uh-huh. You know, talking about Snow White, the dwarves are named after cocaine symptoms.
Is that true?
Yeah, yeah.
Sleepy?
Makes sense.
You get sleepy
Mark's never
eventually.
done cocaine.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Start a new businessy.
There's grumpy.
Can we find more cokey?
There's grindy.
Sneezy.
There's
Dopey.
can fuck for a long time but not cummy.
Under a bridgie.
Can't
feel like I have to pee but can't-y?
That one really hit me.
Thank you, bro. I know you know it's funny. I only know that from you.
I know urinary
Yeah.
incontinence. Every time I did coke back in the day.
That's what Lewis told me.
Back in the day.
You used to say all what coke did to you was made you feel like you had
No,
to
but
pee,
not.
you couldn't
No,
pee.
that was earlier. Then I got over that problem.
Oh no, I'm saying you told me this a long time.
Yeah, a
ago.
long time ago.
I just want you to know I'm always listening.
I know you are.
I remember when Lewis did coke a crazy long time ago.
But that was
man.
way back there.
Not even in this calendar year. And what is it? Summer?